I don't go live on my phone.
Hey! No.
Oh, okay,
You just
Happy day.
share from Freedom Girls Talk. Yeah, ignore the one that says Leslie Smith went live. Don't share that one. Don't share. Yeah. Share it.
It's delayed.
Yeah, it always is delayed on Facebook.
That was weird. Okay.
So now I need to share. How's everybody doing this evening?
Hey, we got some folks on already. Y'all ready
We
for the
do.
beginning.
I am really excited, but I'm about to vomit.
A little vomit.
I think I pooped in my pants.
You know what?
But I might stink to these girls.
You know what?
Do I stink?
Oh my gosh!
I'll fart though.
Oh my goodness! I wasn't ready. Timmy, were you ready?
I'm not ready.
Let me listen up.
I had to like make it. I had to make y'all feel comfortable.
Come on for the
Make you
people
feel
already
comfortable.
in.
I don't know how to
That's
share.
awesome.
You don't know how to share?
No.
So go to Freedom Girls Talk.
Happy,
Like, go to the
happy.
page.
What I'm about to say Tuesday.
And
It's
then-
Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'm so used to
Just
us
hit
doing
share.
the show on Tuesday night.
See, right here. Share. Share.
Hey, is Dana? Is
Mine
that Dana?
share, right? And mine look frozen on the page.
Share.
But meaning still shared it, right?
In an event. Share.
It's the logo.
Yeah.
What is it called? The Power of Forgiveness. There it is. And
Power of
we
Forgiveness.
are-
Hey everyone, how's everybody doing? Doing good? Good?
It's live there. Wonderful. So we're gonna get started in like 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Yes. How's your week going?
It's Wednesday.
I think so. Let's go with
We
that.
don't know. We
Hump
don't
day.
know.
It's hump day. My day is. My week is. It's good.
Okay. So let's talk about this DEVIL for a second.
Oh.
Look, I was like,
I had to. Me too. Okay.
Let's talk about this devil. I can't stand it. I will say that MJ and I have you see how just changed her name real quick.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're doing
You
real
know how
good.
MJ and I we have gone through. See, she'll say it. HE double hockey stick.
hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
that
So are we not allowed to curse?
Hell is not it's not a curse word. It's a place where people
That's what
where
they
you
call
go when
Right.
you're not saved.
But
and
the question
sanctified.
is, are
if
we
you need
allowed
to
to?
know how to be saved,
You
let
do.
us know.
Okay.
Yes. So we've gone through a lot. A lot of sickness,
She
people
said,
in the
what?
hospital, deaths,
Yeah.
fatigue, unforgiveness. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Yeah, a lot of that. And so,
Over the last week?
no, I would honestly say I literally computed it today, and I was like, I started going through things about 3 weeks after we launched. Isn't that crazy? And it's just it's been continuous. But I just feel like,
Crazy at all.
it's just like ministry just gets you to a
Yeah.
point where it's like, guys, I want to take you to another level. So let me test you. Let me figure out where you're at so that way you really have to depend on me. Look, we're preaching already. We didn't even start the show.
Offering plate.
Yeah.
Well, what I put on your page today.
Offering plate.
Yes,
www.
freedom.
PayPal me
Yes.
/Freedom
Freedom
Girls
Girls.
Talk. Okay, good.
Hallelujah.
What is it? What is it?
But earlier, Leslie posted just about, asking for prayer for us. And so the one thing that God had me put on her page, which is, of course, it has something to do with fitness, because that's literally, besides Jesus and Freedom Girls, that's my life. And it's just like being in the gym, right? So ministry is like being in the gym, right? And so you have to build your faith muscles. So he just wants to see what our strength conditioning is. Are we going to just get to the gym and stay outside of the building because we're too weak to go in to lift the heavy weights? Or are we going to go in and push press and squat and, do those, do curls and hammer curls of faith and of persistence, and not for our physical bodies, but it really is for our spiritual strengthening. And so, it's literally spiritual conditioning when you go through trials. And so
I'm being conditioned.
he just really wants to see what
And it hurts.
what the response will be. Is your response going to be, Jesus sucks, I'm out, like I'm about to eat some pizza, call it a day, or is it going to be, I want more. I want to be stronger. So
I love
That was
the
real
analogy.
deep.
it was.
That was deep. and I'm over here playing.
I love
Tell
that.
Leslie to get it together.
Get it together. But for me,
Put it together.
this week I've been in the gym, but I've been intentionally praying, making it my prayer time, and doing new words of affirmation, words to live by. And it's very difficult to say, today I choose forgiveness, and to choose that every day. Like to literally wake up and make that a part of my prayer time. I've been doing it every morning.
Someone
since
actually
Monday.
posted that on my comments today. They said they have to choose. They chose Sunday and they chose again Monday. I don't know
Yeah,
what days
it's
of the
like
week,
just
but
like being married. Like you get
Choose to
married,
love him.
but you have to choose your spouse every day to combat the devil, enemy, and the people, and looking good outside the house because your husband's fine, but you're cute. Everybody else fine too.
No, it can't.
So,
I think we should probably introduce who these lovely ladies are sitting next to us because they're just laughing along with us.
who the people? Who the people?
These
Who
are
the
our
people?
two sisters. There are two sisters. I mean, I've known Joy for a few years, and I've known Tiffany for a few minutes. And
All love.
yes,
All
she's
love.
wonderful. So yeah, I'm not hosting tonight. I'm just gonna sit back and not talk.
Tiffany, why don't you tell the people your full name and what it is that you do and all that good stuff?
Yes, so I am Tiffany K Kennedy. I am a therapist 9 to 5, but I'm also an empowerment coach and speaker. So what I do is really mentor women and do coaching one-on-one.
Yeah.
And so my whole thing is to activate and accelerate you on purpose, right?
Yes,
And
please.
to unveil your true identity. Because from day to day we are covered with so much. So as women we forget like who we are, and so my whole goal is to really propel you and push you into destiny, and being all that God has created you to do.
I love it.
So,
Girl, you are in line with what we're doing over here.
Yes, that was great, Tiffany.
Everyone,
Yes.
meet Tiffany. She's amazing.
Let's hear your snaps. We want to hear your snaps. Press
Oh,
those like
we
buttons.
could
And
hear
share with some people. Share and invite some people.
Yes.
Because this is going to be real deep tonight. I promise
my
you.
website is down, but you can go on it soon, very soon, TiffanyKKennedy.com. But if not, they can email me at empowermentcoachtiffany@gmail.
And we'll be sure to post her information on our Freedom Girls Talk page so that you don't forget to reach out to her.
Yes.
And who's this lovely chocolate mocha thunderstorm?
Thanks for those snaps. Thanks for those snaps.
Did you hear my title? I'm a chocolate mocha thunderstorm.
That's what I was talking about. That sounds like a drink.
That was cool.
For your husband. That's another show. That's another
That's
show.
another show. Okay, so my name is Joy Worthy Johnson, and what am I? Who am I? I am a wife and a mother of 4. I am starting.
He drank that drink.
I am the founder of a really cool movement called Momish, and so Momish is a movement for professional African American moms to let them know that it's okay to not be perfect, and if you feel like you're kind of momish, that it's okay, and we have fun and we do activities. And I'm also a speaker and and a public speaking coach, strategist. But today I'm just really here as Joy Worthy Johnson, a friend who is grateful for receiving forgiveness. And that's
But I will publicize her. She's an amazing speaker. Let's go back there. She's amazing, and she's great at what she does as far as helping folks learn how to speak. Like she told me once, she's like, when you cry, I'm going to need you to get it together. You don't speak and cry at the same time because you need to grab the emotion from the people.
You know what that is? I told you that?
Yes, you did, and I've never forgotten. So when I feel like crying, I soak it up so that way people can be emotional
You know
and
what?
cry for me.
If any of my students are watching, they're going to be like, you're absolutely right. I do feel as though as speakers, you make the audience cry, but you don't need to be up there like trying to talk and cry, but so.
But that's something I learned from you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyway, back to
Isn't
forgiveness.
that wonderful? Y'all know who I is. Hey. We are here tonight, as you guys know. First of all, thank you for those who are tuning in because our regular show was supposed to be last week, but then there had been a storm.
It was a whiteout.
Did you hear my English? That wasn't
was a
good
white
English.
But
But
we don't look at the comments as we're.
Well, yeah, we will.
Oh.
Kind of. Yeah.
Because I can't see if anybody.
We can't see them. Yeah, we can't. I'll pull up my computer here in a second.
Yeah, she's got it back there.
Yeah, it's right. It's right.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're here tonight because Joy and Leslie are friends, and they went through a season of they went through a season of not talking, and
Getting hot now.
she's getting a little warm, so they gotta be comfortable. So I want to ask you guys, like, number one,
We're getting right into it.
We're getting right into it. And I know it's gonna look really strange, but I am gonna open my laptop, so feel free to ask questions, give your
Absolutely.
comments, so we know what's going on in your head.
Yeah,
Sorry,
so
not too much movement. I'm
tell
sorry.
me how you guys met. Joy, tell me how you met Leslie.
So Leslie and I initially went to the same church, and I had seen Leslie around, and I always saw her as this classy, sophisticated, and I hate it, but chocolate. No, chocolate beauty. No,
Me right
and I
here.
was gonna say, like, I hate when people always refer to me as chocolate, but that is what it is. But this chocolate beauty, and a girlfriend and I hosted a vision board event. And Leslie showed up. She came, and I was very surprised. And the whole time she was there, she looked like she didn't want to be there. So I honestly thought that she didn't like me. But from there, I learned that she loved me, and we began a beautiful friendship. So I met her by coming to the vision board event.
Yes, that is correct.
So you guys, met at the vision board event. So what kind of you met, but what made the friendship? When was like the first time like you guys talked on the phone? Do you guys remember like not the initiation of the friendship, but like just don't start being friends with someone just I met you and then I'm gonna like just know
That's
you.
kind of like what happened with us.
It is.
It is.
But did you guys talk a lot on the phone? Tell me about the interaction.
What was it, Joy? I feel like I don't remember. I remember we did talk on the phone, but Joy was real quick to get off the phone if something happened. She was like, "Oh, hold on, I gotta go."
Yes,
and
yes.
she's still like that.
Yes.
But
So I don't like to talk on the phone a lot, but
you hosted other events. They had a book that came out,
Mm-hmm.
so I would support you in those different endeavors. And yeah, it was more or less kind of like a support thing. She was doing speaking engagements, and I was volunteering and helping her, and I think that was a lot of that's a lot of how we started our friendship.
We did. But then you also just really shared with me how, it was hard for you to make friends here in Chicago.
Yes, Lord.
And how it was hard for you to just kind of be real with people. And you had met both me and Jamila, or Jamila and I, and you felt like you found someone you could be real with.
Right.
And
that is true. Very true.
And so one of the things that I just kind of realized with Leslie came on like really strong.
Really?
Yeah, she
I'm not strong.
Leslie, hold on, wait, Leslie, I have to do a disclaimer.
I'm learning.
Leslie, we're gonna be friends after this, right? Like,
I love you.
Okay, good. I don't want no problem. I don't want no. Joe, we were on the show. You said I don't want none of that. But Leslie comes.
Oh, that's just her story. We keep this.
Leslie came on really strong. Like it was very like she knew that she wanted to truly be friends, and I didn't know if I wanted to be that deep of friends yet.
Okay.
And
But what
so-
else did you tell me though?
I don't know.
Oh, you
say it.
actually told her that.
No.
No.
Whoa.
she didn't. No. But she also the young lady that she wrote a book with.
Okay.
Do you remember? Am I allowed to share? Okay. I mean, Jamila, if you're watching, hello, honey.
Hey,
But you also mentioned, I think this is pretty recently that you told me this, that you had become very close friends with Jamila, and that you really didn't know how to be friends with both of us simultaneously, and then it was kind of like you didn't want me taking her away from you.
Said that?
Yeah, I remember a lot.
I'm crazy.
Taking
So here's what
First steps to reconciliation is
So here's what I
Not that you
realized.
know you're crazy.
Here's what I have realized in this
Yeah.
thing called life. In college they teach you and tell you to put on your resume that you are a multitasker.
Mhm.
And so for the last 15 years, I've been saying that I'm a multitasker.
You're not boring me.
But in all But in all honesty, I am not a multitasker. and I am not a great juggler of friends, so to speak.
Why do you think that is?
Because at the time I was a mother of 3 and a wife, and so I'm trying to balance that act. And then I had like friends I had been friends with for years, so I'm trying to maintain those, and then to try to bring in new people. It was, and I still struggle with that to this day, of just kind of managing relationships. And so Leslie was a new friendship that I didn't really know how to kind of add to my life and to show her the true value.
I will say, I think I probably did come across a little heavy. I did, because I didn't have those girlfriends, and I really felt like Joy was true, and I felt like I finally had someone that just took me in for who I was, and she was from Atlanta, I was from Indianapolis, and no offense to y'all Chicago folks, love y'all, but I just felt like I felt like I didn't fit in. You're fine. I just feel like I did not fit in, and I just felt like Joy just received me. I don't know. It just felt different. I just felt like it was. Oh, I know what it was. I felt like it was my girlfriend from home.
Okay, so you felt welcome.
Yeah, I just felt like it was my girlfriend from home. Okay. She was loud and crazy and very real and quirky like me. And yeah, just be me.
So you guys had all these things kind of in common. Crazy, quirky. I threw crazy in there. And you felt welcomed. Both of you felt welcomed by each other, even though you were trying to manage friendship. So in that, what went wrong? What happened?
Just jump right on in there.
Go ahead, Leslie.
What happened? What was the first day? I don't remember.
Joy,
there's a lot. There were
from your perspective, what happened?
Yeah, from your perspective, what happened, Joy?
Ain't that a mess? I'm the guest. Okay,
I'm the guest tonight too.
So, I'm gonna be honest.
Yes.
I was oblivious to the hurt that was taking place.
Gotcha.
Because it happened once before, and we had talked about it when we did that photo shoot.
Right, and so wait, the photo shoot?
Yeah, Kevin.
Photo shoot?
Right. No, so it didn't happen at the photo shoot.
No. We talked about it there.
So here's something that I tend to do. That's why I like to have friends I've been friends with for years, because you know my heart, you know me, you know I don't really mean, it is what it is. And so I don't have the patience to keep going back to reassure you that I still love you, that I still like you, that you matter. Like I just don't. And so I had a speaking engagement. Leslie introduced me, and I basically told Leslie, since I know you, I'm not talking to you at the event because I know you. Like, so I know you and your husband came, but I'll talk to you later.
And then she also asked me to make sure I paid.
I was broke. Okay.
But none of the other volunteers.
I don't remember that part. And so in my mind, I thought I was trying to, because there were, I don't know, maybe 40 people that came out to hear me speak, and I didn't know all of those people. And so in my mind, I didn't want to, this is going to sound really harsh, waste time on people that I knew that I could actually call after the event when I could be talking to people that I didn't know.
Right. I understand the concept, but maybe the delivery was wrong.
Absolutely. But see, I caught it, and so that's what she was saying. Like, I caught that, and I apologized about that.
Well, that's good. That's
yes.
Grown up of you.
Yeah, I told her, like, that was so inconsiderate of me. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, you came. But I don't think she had fully gotten over that. It was almost like she put it in her pocket, like, I got you, chick. You know what I'm saying?
But you said you didn't understand or feel like she was hurt when you did it. You didn't think that was going to hurt her feelings.
No, I did. I mean, I realized it was wrong.
Okay. Before or after you did it?
After.
Okay.
Correct, Leslie? Yeah.
Well, that will only be you that know that part. Like, if you felt like, she would be hurt when you did that. I'm only asking because I feel like maybe it's something that happened before that you feel like you can just cut people off that you know and, kind of treat them, like they don't really matter, but you do care. And it's something you've probably been doing for a long time. So that's why I was trying to figure out if you knew.
Yeah.
Because you said you didn't really know that she was getting hurt.
Right.
After the fact.
Right. Am I supposed to say something?
No, just ask.
Oh, okay.
She said, and your point is. She said, I don't know what your point is.
Y'all are not gonna.
And then there's some other things that happen.
I didn't want to get deeper, so I just
I still want my book.
Well, tell the people what happened with the book. Leslie.
Okay, so I paid for this book about, how long ago was this book written? 3 years? 2014. It's now March 2017. I purchased the book at her book signing with her friend / co-author.
Okay.
And they were supposed to sign it. And I have yet to receive this book that I paid for.
It's on back order.
And so,
MJ.
So let me say.
No.
But apparently it got lost in a move or something. But I can just have another one and you can just sign it. It's fine. I am trying to read 12 books this year. It could be one of the 12. And I could really promote
I
this
just want
book.
to finish one book.
Yeah.
You know what? So honestly, Leslie, what happened was.
What happened was Craig and them sold a book. I love you.
Who's Craig?
I don't know.
You know how sometimes people say, just be honest, just tell the truth. I really think Leslie would have appreciated if I would have told her, if I would have called her and been woman enough to say, Leslie, we do have your book. However, Jamila signed it. She left it in the mailbox. It took me a month to get it. By the time I went back, the lady's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And so therefore, I don't have a book for you. So it's not like what we completely forgot about you. I just didn't move fast enough to get you the book. But I didn't do that. Instead, I'm like, whatever. Like, I know she's probably mad, but she'll get over it. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Not realizing that she'll get over it was just harboring some other things over there from my lack of, I don't know, just a little bit more sacrifice, a little bit more hard work. You know, like, yes, it going to get this book was out of my way, but her coming to the book signing was out of her way. Her spending her $25 was out of her way. I didn't look at it like that. Or maybe it was 15.
She's like, that's
I'm like, wait a minute,
Or maybe it was 15.
I
but
need some money today if you want to reimburse me.
she for real.
I really think you should share your point because I was the one that needed to be forgiven. Like, I don't have forgiveness issues. I can forgive. But I just really feel like you should speak from your place of forgiveness. Now, we're going to talk about the email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also want to point out that she is not the only one that had issues. Because the one thing that you brought up to me just a few months ago when we were over at Lynn's house is how when I came to your house, so speak on that, how I came to your house.
You speak on that.
I'm trying to remember what I exactly
You
what
know,
I said.
see, she done brought me on this show and she done had amnesia.
Joy said it was
Joy is comfortable now and I love it.
That brought me on here.
No, because you said.
Okay, so let me tell you. So here it is, guys.
Okay.
So
I
don't have forgiveness issues. I more so have dismissive issues. So I will dismiss you, forget you ever existed, and move on with my life.
That's because I was a little hot and I just was not trying to be bothered.
So
for those people that have forgiveness issues and they're just like, I just want this person out of my life, and it's kind of like you were quote unquote, I won't say begging, but asking to come back in my life, and I was just like not really responsive. So you just kind of like, I just move on.
But let's say how Leslie. So here's the thing.
Right, I was like,
I know. Wait, so let me tell you. Okay, wait.
Okay, go ahead.
So we were developing a friendship. We were talking on the phone. She was coming to support me. And then I invited her to my home. I don't invite a lot of people to my home. When Leslie came to my home, she was like, oh, I don't feel bad where I live now after being at your house. And it was just like,
oh, no.
But it was the delivery. Why I gotta get hot by the mama? But for me, okay, I'll tell you. Go ahead.
okay, so
don't y'all hang up yet.
When she basically was like, Itch, I thought you had it going on like you was broke, you was poor, you was nothing. I picked her up out of I like her and I put her over here like.
That's how I got in the box.
She went to the trick box.
Yeah, she came out of You don't get
I'm
unconditional.
calling names.
But did you keep
No,
me and her
but that's
friend
where
talking
people
to
put
her
you.
and everything?
Not really.
Yeah, she
Okay.
had come into like, now I deal with you on a need-to basis.
Okay.
Okay.
And so if I put you in a box where I love you, I think you're great, I admire you, I respect you, and you disrespect me, my children, then I put you over here into a need to handle only basis.
Was that before the speaking engagement book and all of that, or
That was
after?
after.
It was
That was
after.
That was after.
Okay.
And I think the biggest thing, like, I didn't know this until literally a couple months ago, and I was like, I do it / don't remember saying it like that, but that's her perception, is how she received it, and that's her reality, period, point blank. But one of the things for me in saying it, and it totally came out wrong, is I was in a very, very dark place in my life financially, living paycheck to paycheck. House was almost foreclosed, car was repossessed, and hearing gunshots at night or during the day, seeing people's bodies laying on the ground, sirens. I lived on a very rough side of South Chicago. Like, it was rough. My street was pretty clean. There were some domestic violence issues that were going on next door because the police came a lot. They came a little too often for me. But I was like, this girl literally is like me.
So
And
for
I-
you, it was
so
a connection.
it was a
But
connection.
for you, it was like
Look
disrespectful.
Look at the empowerment coach who just made that
Right.
connection. We can just end the show.
It was, and that's
Yeah,
so unfortunate.
yeah, it was just-
And I think had she may have said, you know, Joy, thank you for opening your home and just showing me that it's okay, or something, you know, maybe that. But
Sometimes I'm a little quick to.
and so of course, I was offended. Like, she said it and I heard it and I'm like, I just made a mental block that she was
Right.
removed.
Right. So what happened after that? Like, so was that the point where you guys stopped talking to each other after she came to the house?
Well, that's when I just kind of like removed myself.
Okay.
And I distanced myself, and she felt that distance.
Yeah.
And at that time, I cared, but I didn't care enough to have the hard conversation to say you hurt me, because the friendship was so new, right? So we hadn't even been friends for years for me to say, look, we done been through too much.
Yeah.
You know, this was like, girl, I just met you, so.
So you just, it's done. And
So
then when
can
she,
can I ask, were you already at the point where I didn't want to forgive her because you were upset about the event? How did you feel about the event? So she talked about how she
I was
felt.
mad. I was
It
mad.
sounded like it started then.
It
Don't
did.
it sound like
It
as
did.
far as
I feel like it started then, and then with the book, and then it just
so
kept.
how did
it
you
kept-
feel?
it-
Because you said y'all talked about it at the
we talked about it, because we had a photo shoot that her makeup artist was doing, and he needed some faces, and so she volunteered my face, and I don't know how to put it, but she volunteered my face,
And
so
that was kind of
we
probably like
talked
my
about it.
olive branch. Like, I want you to come to know that I still appreciate you, that I still consider you a good friend.
Yeah.
And I even pulled her to the side and like looked her in her face like, Leslie, I am so sorry. But at that point, she was very like, girl, whatever.
Yeah.
But what did she say? How did y'all? I'm trying to hear. When did you know that she was upset, or when did you tell her, or did you not tell her and you just felt it? Like, all I hear
The
is
very
y'all had
first
the
time.
event, you pulled us to the side, you said, hey, I'm not talking to you. I know you, I got other people to talk to. And then, so when did you tell her you were mad when she knew?
We talked at the photo shoot. We got pulled aside, but then I feel like it got really bad, and we literally went, how long? I don't even know. Probably a good year
Yeah, I was like,
without
I mean,
talking.
how long did you guys go without talking? And
Right.
was it from the photo shoot onward that you
No,
stopped talking?
we talked after the photo shoot. I really can't pinpoint an exact time and when we actually just stopped talking. But the part that like really made me upset is like during that year, I know my husband had we were trying to move, and we were getting rid of baby furniture. His fourth child was coming, and she had reached out to my husband for free baby furniture. I'm like, you can't talk to me, but you can ask for furniture. So that made me even more upset.
No, I get that.
So you're so funny. So I felt used along the way. I just felt used and taken advantage of. So when we started this ministry, Freedom Girls, I don't remember when I reached out to you. It was like late last summer, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I reached out late last summer, and I was like, in order for me, and this is
so no, she didn't reach out. Don't put it like that.
I was about to get into the details.
Oh, okay.
I reached out.
I was just like,
It was via email.
Right.
And I was like, "Hey, Joy."
So clearly, you thought that was impersonable.
No,
she didn't.
When
no,
you said not reach out.
But so the subject line said, "Hey, Joy!" exclamation. I'm like, Leslie's back.
Because I wanted her to open the email.
Right.
It's a sales tactic.
Okay.
Right. For the email, it wasn't
catchy.
But
I was very
you have to. I actually saw Leslie at a birthday party.
We did.
Yes, and we hadn't talked in a long time.
That's right. I forgot.
And I went up to her and I was like, "This is awkward that I'm running into you, but I'm so happy to see you." And I hope I just was very vulnerable with her, even though I knew she could give two shits about me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was still very like, hi. And I'm like, we should get together. We should get together.
It was a serious,
Yeah.
But then I felt so rejected that I'm like, I'm not gonna keep going back. Like I said, I'm sorry. Like I'm not going to chase you.
And little did she know, I was actually waiting for her to call me or text. Because Rylan asked me, he was like, "How did the conversation go?" I was like, I was pretty numb. I said, but we'll see if she actually texts or call. And you did text.
I did text.
And then you were like, "I'm going to text you." I can't remember what you said.
This is after your email?
No, this is
the
when we
birthday.
saw each other at the
Birthday
birthday.
party.
And because I felt rejected. Here I am trying to be vulnerable. I know I messed up. I know that I am the cause of our friendship going awry. I'm reaching out to say, it's awkward to see you, but I'm so happy to see you. And I want us to reconnect. And she just kind of looked at me like, okay. And so for me, it's like, whatever.
So
we do have a question real quick.
Yeah.
So someone asked, was it a year of unforgiveness or mutual disconnect? What do you think? I feel like it may kind of be a combination of both.
So I think it was disconnect for me and unforgiveness for you.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that makes sense, Justine.
Okay.
But yeah, so the email, it was basically reaching out and what did I say? Like I need to I should have probably read that email before I read it.
So basically,
I'm sure you probably know the details.
I think it also was like rejection for you too, right?
Yes.
Disconnect and rejection because you tried to open up that relationship again, but you didn't feel like she was receiving, right? And so rejection opens up a lot of doors with forgiveness as well, and they both foot soldiers. When we talking about demons, let's just talk about it. I mean, it's a big issue. So those were two big blocking stumps, I guess I'll say, that you all were dealing with. So it was hard to come together with both of those issues. So even though they were different, they go together in a lot of ways, because unforgiveness opens up a lot of rejection wounds, and then rejection wounds causes those walls to come up, and that's why you're so dismissive, right? And so you just like, I'm not dealing with it. You don't even have the opportunity to hurt me like that. So
it's like a defense mechanism, really.
Oh, yes.
And there's a root behind that, but that you probably know, that stems back probably to your childhood of rejection, and getting to the root of that, and in reevaluating relationships. Period. There's something at the root of that dismissive spirit that shields you from hurt. You don't need the people. I'm good.
That's it.
And
Yes.
I know very well about the rejection and dismissive spirit. Bye. Don't need you. Okay, love you. Bye. And I'll be cordial, but letting folks in is something that has to be retrained after hurt in childhood.
Absolutely.
I think, personally.
You know what? That you say that, I moved away when I was in 6th grade. I moved away for 7th to 8th grade. My childhood friend that I was from for 6th grade, when I came back in 9th grade, she hurt me so bad, like to the point where no woman will ever get that close to me again to hurt me like she did. So,
but you know what you just tapped into?
That hurt. That
no. So I knew it was always unforgiveness there. But you kept saying, I don't have the issue of unforgiveness. That's her. I'm dismissive. But that's the unforgiveness right there. From 6th grade, that you never let go when you came back in 9th grade. And so it operates, and you have these different things that open up after that comes. And we all have that, right? I'm huge dealing with rejection as well, and healing from rejection and stuff. And so we have to figure out what that root was, like when we talk about childhood. And that's what it was for you. So when you cut people off, it's because, like you said, you'll never get close to me to hurt me like that again. And so I don't want to jump the gun as far as, you know, how we're doing the interview and the question you all want to ask me and stuff. But that's what happens with unforgiveness. Like, we have these doors that open up, and then it starts playing out in other ways in our life. And because it spins out in so many different ways, we don't understand that it is, you know, unforgiveness and not wanting to trust or have that ability to open up to other people, right? And it's because we get hurt.
That's
So,
deep.
That is.
That's deep. That's that hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
Wow.
And sometimes it really is unintentional.
It is.
Like,
It's
you're not
really,
intentionally
you don't want
being,
to.
you know, mean, but it's literally
Protecting my heart.
it's protecting your heart. And so, I mean, I have that even, this is my second marriage to Mr. Johnson upstairs. And after divorcing my children's father, I always said that I would never, ever be dependent upon another man ever again. I would never need or allow myself to feel like I need another man. And I struggle on the bus, honey, on the meeting bus, because
Me too.
And
I was
it's
raised
very-
that I can't need. You
it's
know, I
very
shouldn't
difficult.
tell people that I need. So
yeah, and even in like friendships, and you know, telling each other, hey, I need this thing in this relationship. I need you to know how I feel about this, and this. It's hard, especially for women, to be that vulnerable. And so you guys not talking for a year, and then you sending the email. Do you remember what you put in that email? Did you tell her, like, did you hit specific
I
things
did.
about what you needed in the relationship?
Well, I remember talking about. You gonna pull it up?
I'm trying.
Okay. I do have my computer right here too, but I do remember talking about how I needed to release her. I remember you mentioning that over and over again when we had our conversation, but just giving specific examples of when she hurt me.
Yeah. Can you say that again? That was a really good word, releasing her.
Yeah, I needed to release her
Very biblical, by the way.
I needed to let the situation go, so that way I could go.
I need my Bible.
Jesus, so I could elevate to the next place that God had for me, which was Freedom Girls. And even now, like Joy and I, we sit in the park, but we really cool. We all right. See, we love each other. But but
they
even
had a
as
fight
I got my foot
earlier.
on you, sorry.
No.
But you know, I'm dealing with some other issues, and Jesus. Okay, so it's once again, God is, and it's been a long time, but it's God is waiting, probably on me. I hate the word probably, but whatever. That's hard anyway. Yeah.
So
Okay, so I found the email.
Oh, she found the email.
Are you about to read it?
So,
That's how I do. I don't delete nothing.
so here it is. It's long.
Yeah, so we don't want to read.
Yeah,
all
we
of
don't
it.
want to read all of
She
it.
like,
However,
don't do it.
a couple of things. She said, we used to be extremely close, and then boom, I have no idea what happened. I know you were pregnant, busy, holiday season was upon us, but I waited for your phone call only to realize that you would never reach out. So I had to deal with that rejection again. So here's something I think people should realize. You never know what the other person is going through. And so when I have children, I experience postpartum depression. And so in the midst of me, I had like pregnancy depression.
Yeah.
So that was another reason why I didn't really
reach out
to her as well. My family, we were homeless. I just had a lot going on. And I still had that hurt of she looking at where I live like, I thought. And now I'm even worse off now. Like, girl, we don't even have a place.
Yeah.
So then she talked about me unfriending her on Facebook.
You did unfriend me on Facebook.
So
petty. And then had the nerve to ask for furniture.
So here's the thing. So when I responded back to Leslie, I sent Leslie like this big teddy bear meme that said something like, I miss you.
Okay.
And she in return was just kind of like, psh. So I'm like, bitch, I'm taking off. We're unfriend. Like I sent.
Oh, you're talking about when I had RJ.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about the email. I was like, that's not what I said.
Like I sent her, like, congratulated her on the baby. When she had her baby shower, I drove like an hour. I gave her $40, which was a lot to me. Like I was there, but to her that still wasn't enough. So anyway, I unfriended her on Facebook. She said I was petty. But
now, would you consider it petty if someone unfriended you on Facebook and then reached out to your spouse for some baby furniture? How would you feel?
I'm just trying to hold on to these points that y'all saying some good things.
But here's the thing. For me, Leslie, I'm going to tell you, I know that it's kind of like, really? But I was in such a place of desperation that the fact that I wasn't friends with your wife, that you have free baby furniture, and I have zilch. I'm living in the basement of somebody else.
So that was really big for you to even reach
Girl,
out. That was like a vulnerability.
It was
level that you weren't even.
Exactly.
Well, I have some baby stuff if you need it.
We're 5 months later.
We're friends now.
He's 1 year old. But the biggest thing that she said was,
getting a lot of wows.
I see, which means people are really resonating with it.
Which basically she said, I release you, Joy.
I need to find my Bible.
And
Go find it.
no one has ever released me. No one has ever been woman enough to send me an email or have a conversation that says, you are toxic to my life and I want more, I deserve more, and I'm going to release you so that I can get more. So when I first got that email, I was mad. Like I was mad. And I remember reaching out to a friend, and that's something that you got to be careful who you talk to, because once you forgive, that person is still mad, right? Mm-hmm. But anyway, I remember reaching out to a friend. I'm like, let me tell you about Leslie. Tell you what Leslie said. Leslie told me she released me. Like, what? She released me. And I had to really think about that. And I had to own it. But then I had to be woman enough to come back and say, okay, but here's how you also hurt me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Here's also...
So you replied back to the email.
I did. And I was really proud of myself because, again, I'm very dismissive. Mm-hmm. I'm very like, you know what? Okay, I guess it is. But for her to use words like, I release you, it did something to my spirit. It really did. And I was willing to put myself back on a vulnerable chart of, Leslie, that's not my intention. That's not what I meant. This is how you hurt me as well. Let's meet and talk face to face.
Oh.
Let's meet and talk face to face.
Yeah.
And I am so grateful that Leslie was mature enough and woman enough to accept my invitation to hear my heart face to face. Because I think so often, as much as we want to say that we're grown, so many women are not grown enough to have a conversation in person, to hear both sides. Here's how I hurt you, but here's how you hurt me. You know, I lost a really good friend over text message. And when I said, let's talk in person, she said no. Therefore, I dismissed her. And I don't think we will ever talk again. But Leslie was woman enough to say, I really don't want to meet with you, Joy, but I'll meet with you.
But the thing is, like, even our conversation, there was no yelling. We met in a public place.
But neither one of us would yell or argue. Like, I wouldn't.
Well, she was really upset. So,
but I felt because I had already, like, truly released you, at that point. I was okay. I was at peace. And so our conversation was, when I say very mellow, like this is how you hurt me, and this is what happened. There was we did not raise our voices to each other. We literally had a conversation. And it was real. We hugged. And she even asked me, Leslie, can we be friends? And I was real with her, and I said, I don't know.
I really just want to congratulate the way you both
I was like, we need some applause to people.
Come on. No, seriously, because a lot of times it does not work like that, right? A lot of times a person does not reach out and open up and say, I need to release you, right? I know you didn't like it, but that was a big part on you. And then even by you answering with the email, that was so big on you because like you said, you used to saying, you know what, forget you, that's how you feel, whatever. But the biggest thing about forgiveness is, although that was great the way you did it, a lot of us want to use forgiveness as if it's going to be this warm thing in the inside, like we're ready to do it, like we want to do it. But the truth of the matter is, forgiveness is a decision and it's not a feeling. So we
wanted to make sure we touched on that.
Yeah, we'll never feel like we want to forgive. Now, although you wanted to release her and you did that, what we really need to do is go to the Father and release it to the Father. Because when we do forgiveness, it's another level of faith, right? Just how we say faith without works is dead. Well, forgiveness without faith is dead, because ultimately when you forgive somebody, you saying, you know what, Lord, I trust that although my heart is hurting, that you have my heart. I trust that even though this relationship went the wrong way, or this situation went the wrong way, I trust you with my heart. And I know that it says in Mark 2:3 that all things work together for those who love the Lord, right? So although we can't see it, that's that blind faith again, just like faith is. We believe, and we have to go to another level in trusting that God has the final say so, right? He believes in our future, and we will get the victory with this. So forgiveness takes you and opens you up into a whole nother level of trusting God. And I believe that forgiveness taps into a lot of rejection, right, and trust issues that we have.
Well, it's really trusting the Father, though.
Yeah, trusting the Father, believing that He still has our best interests at heart, and just like Jeremiah 29:11, He still wants things to prosper us and not harm and hurt us. So although harm and hurt may come, you have to realize that you will get the victory. So the victory right now is, first of all, you stepping out and speaking. This is propelling you into a whole nother level, you know. And then for Freedom Girls, all the women that's going to watch this and be free and connect and understand, you know, those emotions that go through, and know that it's not a feeling.
It's
you're
just
not
like,
gonna feel. You're not gonna always feel
salvation
good.
isn't a feeling.
No, it's a decision.
It's a decision.
It's a decision.
And so we were just talking about this at Atmosphere of Heaven rehearsal Friday. It's a group that I sing with, and we're talking about, you know, is forgiveness like a process? Like, why does it, you know, have to take so long, or are we called to forgive right on the spot? And so I had some feelings about, you know, forgiveness, because I struggled with forgiving someone in my life. It took me 5 years to forgive someone. 5 whole years. I don't even know how many days that is. It's a lot.
365
times 5.
Right, whatever
Plus
that
a couple
is.
of weeks.
Whatever the answer is.
But I believe that when we take our feelings out of it, and as women, y'all know how hard that is, because we some emotional folks. And God made us that way for a reason. But when we decide to put on our big girl panties and grow up a little bit and realize that forgiving someone has nothing to do with our feelings. We're not going to feel like it, because we're not going to forget. We ain't Jesus. We don't have no river to throw in our thoughts.
So that forgive and forget is not
It's not reality.
But be tread really lightly when people say you forgive but you don't forget, because then that's when we get into holding grudges and being bitter, right? And ultimately, when people hold grudges, you're still thinking about what this person has done. So if you say, you know what, you hurt me, right, and I'll never let you come over my house. So if I keep asking like, hey, let's have a girls' night, I just really need to talk, and you're like, well, my house isn't clean. You just keep on finding ways that you don't want to let that person in. Right. Well, ultimately, that is a grudge, because the reason why you're doing it is because you say, well, I know what she did when she came over here last time. I don't feel like cleaning up.
I agree with that there, but when I was saying about forgetting, they haven't forgotten what happened, but they've forgiven. That's grown up. That's faith, and that's relationship. There are some people who are going to forgive and not forget. They keep bringing it up because they really haven't forgot. They really haven't forgiven at that point. But what I guess my point is, you can remember and forgive. They've remembered what happened, but they've chosen to move on. That's the point I was trying to make.
I want to share something with you all. I want to share something where that Leslie, that she showed so much vulnerability that I had to be vulnerable back with her. Yeah. So she said something. She said, but you know, maybe it's not for me to understand, but as of now, I release you. I forgive you. I pray that your family still receives increase. Am I still hurt? Absolutely. All caps, exclamation marks. It hurts me to no end.
Both letters.
It hurts me to no end to see you so supportive with other ladies and their endeavors. Maybe it was because I wasn't far enough in my career for you to support or befriend me. Maybe I wasn't famous enough for you. I don't know what the issue is. That paragraph right there showed me so much of her heart. Like, but you were all of that. Mm-hmm. You know, like, I have this thing with dark-skinned AKAs. I just think they are amazing women because, you know, the stereotype of they're supposed to be light skin or whatever. Right. And Leslie is just this sophisticated woman who's always classy, who's always so put together. So for her to think that I didn't feel she was famous enough, she was more than enough for me. And I think one of the reasons why I wanted to mend our friendship is because she showed me that I too still mattered to her. Like, I heard in her heart without her saying it that, but I loved you, Joy. And so for that, I wanted to make sure that I let her know, and I loved you too. And I'm willing to do this with you. I'm not willing to do that with everyone, but because she just showed me so much of her heart, I was willing to show her mine back.
Tiffany, what do you think the steps are for girlfriends who are on the outs with each other? What is the first thing that they would need to do in the steps to forgiveness?
I think the first thing would be is to release it to yourself. And when I say to yourself, be transparent with yourself. Be real with yourself about what you are feeling and why you are feeling it, right? Because sometimes when people do things towards us, it's them doing it, but it's a deeper level and why we are feeling that way. So when I felt like, you know, every time my birthday came around, my best friend that I thought was at the time, right? She seemed like every time my birthday came around, she would not be there. Well, that wasn't just that, so to speak, that thing that she did, but it stemmed to a deeper root, like we keep talking about rejection. So although I was mad at her, I put more than just my feelings for that birthday incident. I put all of my feelings on that incident. So first, be real with yourself. Be transparent with yourself about what feelings you're feeling and why you're feeling that. And then the second thing, and the reason why I say do it to yourself first, is because when you go to God the Father and release it to Him, you have to be honest with Him about how you feel and give your issues of your heart solely and completely to Him, because He knows what's inside of your heart, right? He
knows.
What
about for those people who don't know Jesus?
Well, for the people that don't know Jesus, I would encourage you to get to know the man of the And then for the people who's still working it out, again, just get to know the man, seriously.
Yeah.
But then really
acknowledge
just
your feelings.
acknowledge your feelings. You have to acknowledge your feelings. You have to really work out, well, why am I feeling this way? So it really can look, you can do a piegram, right? So with Leslie and Joy, it was, you know, you didn't give me my book, or you didn't speak to me, and then for you, you didn't accept me or whatever. And then you kind of just start working that out in the diagram. So I felt this way, but then why did I feel that way? That would be another one, right? So I probably felt rejected, or I felt that I wasn't accepted, and I already came from Chicago and didn't feel accepted. Well, when did you feel not accepted? So I didn't feel accepted, you know, from the very beginning from my mother. I was the first, and she didn't. So it just really spills out, and then when you're able to figure out what that is, then you can go to a deeper level of healing. Right? Then you can understand what you truly need to be healed from. And it usually does not have anything to do with the situation at hand. Yeah.
So acknowledging your feelings, I apologize.
Yeah.
Acknowledging your feelings, release it into the Father. Do you suggest sending an email like Leslie sent to Joy if you have a hurt with someone, if you just can't face them, or phone calls? Like, what is your suggestion on communication with the person who has hurt your feelings?
So I think communication is big. I'm a big communicator, right? Being a therapist, I'm always communicating. My friends like, why do we have to talk about everything? I'm like, no, I want to talk about this. This is how I feel. It could be the smallest thing. I feel on the line, yes and no. I would say yes, because you never know. It can be like this, right? It can end up in a great way, and you all can communicate in a healthy way. But I will also say no, because in the email I can hear different things where she's releasing, but then she's also throwing that fire, how you feel, right? And if it was a person like me that before I was in my unforgiveness, that I'm going to throw a lot of fire back, right? And so what that does is really just enhance and intensify your level of being hurt. And it's kind of opening you up to, okay, I can forgive if this person accepts it. Because I don't know how you would feel if she didn't accept it, if she didn't email you back, if she didn't want to do this show. Would you have really been able to release it? And that's why I want to go back to forgiveness is not something that we're doing for the other person. It's not something that we are doing. Yeah, it's really for yourself, and really unlocking that next level of faith, right? And really taking yourself off being paralyzed. Yeah. Because when you don't forgive, you are crippled in so many ways for yourself, not for the other person. So I know you said if you don't believe in Jesus, right? But I do, and I don't know if you all remember the story of the paralyzed man when they was bringing him down, right? And he was paralyzed, and the first thing Jesus said to him was, I'll forgive you. I forgive you. He could not get unparalyzed until Jesus forgave him. Well, why did he do that? Because again, when we release those feelings of how we truly feel, he already knew how he felt in his heart. But you cannot get blessed if you have unforgiveness in your heart. It cripples you in so many ways. Like, so it's supposed to be a transparent show, and I'm so big on transparency. That's all I do, right?
Appreciate it.
So the thing, in a literal sense, for me, I was really crippled and paralyzed with an ex relationship that I had, right? And so emotionally, I was paralyzed because I was hurt. I felt like, although physically, I was paralyzed because I appeared as damaged goods. Right? From this hurt relationship, he hurt me. It was hard for me to move past. And so, although I was trying to date and do different things, emotionally I was paralyzed because I could not connect emotionally. Right? You still think about every little thing that a man can do. You're thinking about it. You saying that I forgot it, I don't care, I'm dismissive to you, don't talk to me. But then you can't emotionally go to another level, so you crippled in that aspect. And then spiritually, we talked about that earlier about hurt people, that spirit attracts the same spirit. So you're trying to move on physically and you're trying to move on emotionally, but then you're connecting with people who have all these demonic spirits that you're connecting with. You know, and that opens up so many doors.
Yeah.
So forgiveness is important because you want to take the crutches off of yourself, take the crutches off your heart, take the crutches off your feelings, and unlock that door to blessings because it's ours. But I think this is just really a big tactic of the enemy to have that unforgiveness in your heart, and then it blocks everything that you're trying to do.
Absolutely.
I want to say something.
Oh, I do too, but you can go.
No, it's your show.
Oh, thanks,
You're
Joy.
welcome.
It's not yet. We gotta wrap.
We do have to wrap it up because
Yeah,
y'all going to bed.
Yeah.
But one thing I do want to say, one thing that I've learned recently is that forgiveness is also about the other person. Because just what if in you forgiving that person, God begins to have you minister for that person and opening up doors for them spiritually. For the person that it took me 5 years to forgive, when I released that person spiritually and I forgave and I began to turn my frustration for that person into praying for them daily, the blessings on her life began to unfold. And so there are times where forgiveness, I think it is for both us personally and for the other person, especially if God has given you an intercessory gift, is to pray for that person to be in faith, just like you are in faith. So I do want to say that. Joy.
I can say it really quick.
Really quick.
So one of the things that I just want to say is I am so happy that Leslie wrote to me, because her writing to me gave me an opportunity to process it, to see how I was going to respond, to do self-evaluation, to see, had she called me, I wouldn't have had an opportunity to protect. I would have been on the defense. Mm-hmm. And so in the past, I wrote to a girlfriend to apologize. It took her a year to respond. Mm-hmm. I called another girlfriend and she immediately rejected me. And she said, thank you for the call, but just know that we will never be friends. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you, but we will never be. And so, but I think had I wrote to her and she had an opportunity to kind of dissect it, she may have reacted differently. So I just think that writing a letter of forgiveness speaks volumes.
Yeah. It's really like knowing your audience too.
Yes, it is. And someone actually asked on Facebook, I can't remember who it was, but someone asked Deborah, what made you send the email and was the outcome what you were expecting? I do know, I mentioned that I just needed to release her so I could do what God had called me to do. Honestly, I wasn't expecting Joy to respond so quickly. I think it was like almost immediate.
I did. So
you were like, "Oh my gosh, so glad to hear, so glad to see you or hear you or see your name."
I typed back at like 72 font, like ah.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna respond back to everything you said, but I just want you to know, like right now, that I got it, and I'm so happy. But stay tuned for
the long.
So I think one of the things is forgiveness. Apparently, is a very hot topic. We have a lot of comments and opinions. So I think I would like to do like a part 2 in a couple of months. I know we were talking about how unforgiveness can lead to illness, stress, a lot of all that. So if you'd be open to coming back and doing a part 2, I think that would be a great thing.
Smash-tastic.
Yeah.
One thing I do on our Facebook page, not tonight because I need to go to bed, but I want to put some scriptures to kind of solidify what we talked about tonight, and some tips to help you guys until our next show on this topic. Because I think sometimes we hear, but when we hear and we see, it kind of impacts a little bit differently. And there are some notes that I have on my cellular device that we're recording from right now that I would like to share with you guys on forgiveness. And we really appreciate our show went longer than usual. But we really, really appreciate you guys staying with us and tuning in. Please share. We're going to definitely have Tiffany's information on our Facebook page and our website, and Momish. So keep. We're going to have Momish on our Facebook page as well. So yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah. And next Tuesday we'll be back. We're back on our regular scheduled program. We're talking about with single moms who soar.
Yes.
Next Tuesday at 8 p.m. So we'll be talking about that, and yeah, that's it. So just remember, we are simply 2 women,
2 wives,
2 moms,
with one mission,
and that is just to live in an unveiled free life. So have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Love you. Bye.